Well, following our Monday episode, what better thing to do than honestly go back to Christy's game? Emily Lamport, phenomenal voice. She's super talented. Engineer by day. She's so smart, so talented, but Christy actually got her to play our game. And I thought that was just super funny. And the only thing, side note, before I open forum here, is I was really disappointed the guys guessed it so quick, right? Like, I wanted her to keep going. She was so good at it. But like Tony, it was like 6 seconds in, Tony just like, boom, answers it. I'm like, you jerks. Like, let her do it a little longer. She's meowing, FYI. So anything memorable with that episode you guys remember?
Yeah, I mean, I thought her voice was phenomenal, and I still think we need to get her back on the show at some point. I was so impressed with her ability to meow to a song. Like, she put all of us to, I'm so glad that happened after we played the game, because I would have been so like self-conscious.
Right? But that's what would be fun, Chelsea, side note, if we brought her on and we played the game and we're just terrible. She's so good.
We just make her look really good.
In our defense,
just do whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah. In our defense, we're just really competitive, Richie. That's why we had to start shouting out the name of the song.
I mean, yeah, I understand that, but like, save it. Anyways, guys, we're gonna have some more guests, and you're gonna see it in our show. Kind of contribute more and have more fun with us like that. So Emily, this was the first time that happened, and it was just really fun to see that. And honestly, as Chelsea said, like, embarrassing, but thankfully not on the same show, but you guys get to see the difference in quality from yesterday to today. So enjoy.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the H2G podcast. Happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, if you're celebrating. We are excited to be doing a Artist Spotlight twofer this week. We have Mrs. Emily Lamport in the house. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I am doing great. Let me introduce you real quick to the panel. We've got Tony Ray, Richie Phillips, Chelsea, Christy, and Marvin.
Hi, nice to meet everyone.
So I want to start out by giving another shout out where it's due to Quarantine Karaoke for helping us find yet another extremely talented artist. And you'll get to see that here in just a little bit. But Emily, why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, who you are and what you do?
Okay. Well, my name's Emily Lamport, and I am from a small town in New Hampshire called Pelham. It's right on the Massachusetts border, so if you hear it in my voice, I apologize. I have, along with the music that I do and perform and write, I am also, I daylight as an electrical engineer. I'm doing currently my PhD at UMass Lowell. Spot me over there. But yeah, I do work with a Raytheon sponsored lab, and I do a lot of stuff with the government, a lot of secret stuff, but yeah. Been writing. Yeah. I've been writing songs since I was like 11, and just been getting better and better at it, and getting the confidence to kind of go out there and perform and proliferate my stuff.
Absolutely. Richie, I'll let you start it off this time. I see you itching.
Okay. All right. Sure. EE, that's really cool. I was a computer engineer, so just kind of relate. Yeah, just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Emily, so what got you passionate about music? I was just very curious about that.
What got me passionate about music? I guess I was kind of like, I always felt it like since I was born. Like, I remember when I was like really young, I would, when my parents had us go to church, I would always be like, I want to be up there singing. Like, I want to do that. And I joined church choir when I was like 6. And I remember like being able to like, my parents got me a piano because I was just so passionate. And like, I was able to like listen to things and like teach myself songs on the piano. And they got me piano lessons, and it just kind of grew from there. It just kind of like escalated. I used to go to, I went to a band camp. I had the privilege and opportunity to go to summer youth music school up at UNH, and my love for music just kind of exponentially, it expanded so much, and I love music and just just like it kind of just like consumes my soul. Like I feel like when I listen to, not even just like performing, but like listening to music, like I feel it in my body.
Cool. Yeah, no, I can't say on the performing part because I can't sing worth a damn, but I definitely love to appreciate music. I buy new headphones and audio equipment all the time, so I have like a couple tube amps and stuff like that. So I really like listening to music in different ways and warm signatures and things like that. So I do have a question. What type of do you like to listen to a particular type of music, genre, or is that more eclectic? And then follow-up question to that, does your style like emulate what you prefer to listen to, or what would you say about that as well?
So I don't really have like a specific genre that I like to listen to. I kind of dabble in everything. What I think that I enjoy most about music is like how genuine something is. So like I can listen to something on the radio, and if I hear like a genuine, like that person wrote the song and like the real emotion behind it, that's kind of what I like see in my, like if I can see myself in that emotion, or like just feel that person, that's like a true song that they'd written about themselves. That's kind of what I resonate with music, and like just different like moods that my music reflects, I guess. So I find that a lot of like, since I listen to such a variety of music, it's not always reflective of what I listen to, but it might be reflective of what I'm listening to at the time. And I try to put my emotion, and I try to, when I write, I always get that I tend to write a lot of sad music, but I tend to have it reflect a lot of the emotions that I'm feeling. And I try to like, a lot of it's like, there's a lot of mental health stuff that I address in a lot of my music, and relationships and such. And I try to make it as genuine as possible. I don't want to come off as like someone that's not, that's like kind of like posing as something else. I want to express my realist and truest self to my audience. And that's kind of what I try to portray in my music.
Awesome. Okay, I have one last question. You don't have to answer it if you don't feel comfortable with it.
Okay.
Some people, because I don't feel this way, but some people like get embarrassed by like a trashy type of music, or music that's like frowned upon. Do you have any type of music like that? Like, is there something that's embarrassing that you don't want people to know, but I want you to reveal now?
I honestly, I think about this question often. Like, I really don't get embarrassed by my music. Like, I used to a lot as a kid. Like, I was like, oh, like pop and rap are so like, they're so fake. Like, the popular kids listen to that and they're mean. So I don't like that. But like, now that I've like kind of grown into it, I really like it depends. I guess like embarrassing is a relative kind of, because I mean, I love Billie Eilish. I don't think she's embarrassing to listen to, but like people in my lab will be like, oh my God, you listen to her? And I'm like, yeah, she's talented. Duh. Like, I don't know. I don't feel personally embarrassed by any of my music. I listen to a lot of, I just listen to like a lot. And if someone's good, I'm not going to like shame them or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if that answers it or.
No, it totally does. Because I relate. When I was young, I kind of avoided what people called like the emo phase. And I really regretted that, like missing out on like My Chemical Romance and like really great bands, because I was just so worried about like being perceived that way. And now I'm 35 and I still listen to My Chemical Romance now. So I was just curious.
They're great.
Yeah, no, they're amazing. They're fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I've taken up enough of everyone else's time, so I'm going to just throw it off to Tony. Tony, please ask us some questions. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Emily, if you could have dinner with anybody, they could be famous, they could be dead, they could be alive, they could be singers, they could be actors, whatever. If you could have dinner with 3 people, who would they be and why?
Ooh, 3 people. Let's see. I feel like number one, she's a lesser known artist, but she's influenced a lot of like my self-confidence and my ability to like be myself. Her name is Marina. She's from Marina and the Diamonds. I would absolutely like, she's flawless, gorgeous, and like her music is like a message of like this like classy, elegant, like feminism, like even though there's nothing wrong with any other kind of feminism, it's just this like look at me, I'm fabulous, you're not, sit down. Like I don't know, she's just got like this like air of confidence about her that's just like, it's contagious. And I would love to like just sit down and ask her like, how do you write and like all that other stuff. Let's see, I'd have to really think about numbers 2 and 3. I'd probably want to sit down with like George Orwell. He's one of my favorite authors, and I love reading. That's one of the things that like that also really inspires my music, is like what I'm like reading at the time. And George Orwell just had a great way of portraying like a lot of different ideas, and it's phenomenal. One of my favorite authors. I don't know if he's alive or dead, but that's I'd have to think about the last one.
If not, I've got another question for you.
Okay, I'd have to think about the last one.
All right, no, you're good. You did good on the first two. So there's 4 limos. There's 4 limos heading to the Grammys, okay? And you're getting ready to get into one of those 4, okay? The first limo has Whitney Houston in it. The second limo has Billie Eilish. The third limo has Mariah Carey, and the fourth limo has Beyonce. Which limo are you getting in to get to the Grammys?
Probably the Billie Eilish limo. I love Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey. I hate to say it, I'm in the boat where I like Beyonce's music, but like people like that, like obsessed. I'm not like that. I do respect her as an artist, and I think she's phenomenally talented, but I'm like not like like one of the in the Bayhive, I would say. But Billie Eilish, I think she's just at such a young age, has just so much talent, and I just want to I want to know who hurt her, first of all. She's like her songs are sad, like my songs are sad, her songs are really sad, and I'm like, who hurt you to like sing like this? But like, you know, I want to ask her so many questions.
Absolutely. I appreciate you answering the questions that I had. I'm going to concede my time because I don't want to take up too much time, just like Richie. So whoever would like to go next.
I can go next. So one thing that you said, Emily, was talking about like how, you have like a lot of, or people have said you have a lot of sad music, and I also write, but I don't write music because I can't carry a tune to save my life. But I have the same type of thing with more like sad poetry. So what do you do? Like, is there a routine or a certain thing that you do to get more in that like creative and writing mindset to bring out those emotions and come up with the lyrics that you sing?
That's a very good question. Thank you for asking that. I like a lot of my process. I don't go into writing thinking that I'm gonna come out with something that's amazing, except for like a lot of my writing comes from direct tragedy or like direct, I'm like direct heartbreak. Like I'll sit down, I'll often write, like I'll actually just physically write like a journal entry before. So a lot of my songs that I consider to be really good have like a small journal entry beforehand, kind of as like a forward. And like an example, I have a song out on Spotify. It's called ILY, and it was about the death of my dog. She died last January, and I wrote just like a whole paragraph in my songbook before, and then I just kind of I find that writing beforehand and then like making that into prose and like putting it down on paper in a certain order, like the writing helps definitely beforehand. But like mood wise, like I don't sit down thinking I'm gonna write a song. Like it'll come to me like in just like a random thought or like a dream. But yeah, that's one of the things that I do that definitely helps bring it out, is writing.
Yeah. Well, so as far as this could be music related or even personally, what would you say your like biggest inspiration? It could be a music artist, it could be a band, it could be something else entirely, but what would you consider to be your biggest inspiration to continue to pursue music?
I think that I love like seeing other people around me kind of like I get inspiration. I draw inspiration from others, definitely. Not necessarily like big names or anything, but I love I'm very much a person of routine. So obviously pre-COVID, I have this routine where every Thursday I would go to this one bar and perform an open mic. And whenever I was like feeling kind of like down on myself, like this crowd, it's at a restaurant called the Warp and Weft in Lowell, Mass. It's just such a welcoming environment, and everyone is so supportive, and hearing people, like random people, just come up and say like, I related so much to your music. I think the thing that pushes me forward in music is hearing people say, I related to this or this. Like what pushes me is like, I want people to like think of my songs and like have it help them through something, as like other artists have done for me. I want to give that gift of being able to like help someone through a tough time.
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you.
All right, I'll pass it off to someone else. So again, we're not all hogging the time.
Hey, Emily. Yeah, I can't sing either. So me, Richie, and Chelsea probably need lessons, and maybe you could do that. But I just wanted to ask you, what's been the biggest obstacle you've encountered on your journey as a musician so far?
Actually, very good question. Thank you for asking. I am very much my biggest obstacle. I don't see my my career as an engineer being the obstacle itself, but I do put a lot of time into that, and I get very focused on it, and I feel a lot of emotions, especially as being a female in engineering. You get a lot of like my workplace is not very, like my workplace is very accepting and understanding of like women, and like one of my advisor actually is a woman, and she's just a great person to work for. But like those kind of like distractions kind of drain me in my mental state, and it takes away a lot from the music. And also I tend to be a very anxious person when I'm like doing new things. So very anxious coming on this podcast because it's like not something I've done before. It's very much out of my comfort zone, and I like don't tend to like self promote. I feel like a lot of my friends that I've met through open mics are artists, and they're very promoting. Like it's like every other thing they post or any other thing they talk about is themselves. And I have a lot of trouble doing that. And I feel like that prevents me from getting a lot of exposure. And I just like, I mentioned one time, like, hey, this is me, this is my stuff. Okay, bye. Like, but other people, like, I just have to get into the mindset of like, okay, if I want people to hear me, I have to talk about myself. And that I think is my biggest obstacle.
I feel that. I feel that completely. Stepping out of your comfort zone is like, could be one of the toughest things. What would be your message to those young musicians in that same spot that are struggling with, trying to get on stage and really just break out of, that shell and express themselves? What would your message be?
In the words of the great Shia LaBeouf, just do it. I've never had an issue going up onto stage because I've been on stage since I was like 2 or 3. My aunt does own a dance studio up in New Hampshire, and I've been dancing. So I have been on stage my entire life. So I was always the kid in school. I was never shy. I was always the one that would they'd pair me with the shy kids to help bring them out of their shell. So but I understand it's a huge fear, but it's always something that, if you don't do it, you're always going to be left wondering, what if? And it's if you get up there, especially if you're in a really good environment, the place that I go is super accepting. If you get up there and you bomb a performance, no one's going to glance an eye at you. They're going to say oh, that was good. Even if you didn't think so, they're going to encourage. It's always an encouraging, just come back next week. It might not have been your week. You might have had laryngitis or something, but I know I've had my fair share of foul ups on stage for my voice went or just other things. I wasn't playing well, but I always try to
well, you seem like you don't let any of that stop you.
Yeah, no, the place I go has a bar, so the liquid courage helps a little bit for those 21 and up.
Yeah, that takes the edge off just a little bit. Well, I can see how I feel you completely, and I can see how others would draw inspiration from you. I know earlier you said you touched on you draw inspiration from others to put into your music, but just getting to know you a little bit, I can see how that crowd would draw that inspiration from you. But I'm gonna concede the floor, and I think Christy's the last one left, so I'm gonna let her go ahead.
I am the last
thank
one
you.
left. That's
Thank
for
you.
last though. So since you can actually sing, so we did this game way back when I hosted, and so I'm going to put you on the spot. I apologize, but you're here and you seem like a good sport.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do,
Oh boy.
I made these people use animal noises, only one animal noise to like sing a song, I guess. So I'm actually going to send you an animal noise and a song, and you're going to try and make these people guess it. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's completely fine.
Okay.
All right, let's come off mute. Thank you for being a good sport and dealing with Christy. Jeez.
I'm a jerk.
Totally fine.
I did send it to you in the message there.
Okay, I see it. Okay.
Whenever
Okay,
you
let's
are
go.
ready.
Okay. Meow 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 meow
Ain't no mountain high enough.
Not high enough. Yeah. Oh my God.
That was amazing.
Girl.
You meow a lot better than Tony does.
Oh yeah, yes she does.
You do. That was amazing. I love your voice.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful voice.
Yeah. You know somebody's a good singer when they meow and you know what the song is.
Well, now everybody's got their palate wet. Let's get on to it. We're gonna play one of your songs, "Starving." Could you tell us a little bit about "Starving"?
So I wrote it, and there's actually a joke in it, but I didn't like purposefully intend it. So the song itself is about, I was seeing this guy at the time for a little bit, and he wasn't good for me at all, and I kind of knew it, but then it was my 21st birthday, and he didn't wish me a happy birthday, so I was like, cool, we're done, bye. I was really upset, but so I wrote this song like, why do I still like miss you, or like miss your, like, even though I know that you're not, like, one of the lines, the first line is, tell me why you see me starving, but you don't offer any bread. And it's actually a funny line because I'm allergic to, I'm allergic to a lot, but wheat's a big one. I can't have gluten. So people are like, is this song about your gluten allergies? And I'm like, I prefer to think it like, sure, but not really, but sure.
Somebody else that doesn't eat bread.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, let's get right to it. For the H2G podcast by Emily Lamport, here is "Starving."
Tell me why you see me starving but don't offer any bread. I'm counting every word in my head to make sure I'm not losing it. I walk alone, I prefer it this way, 'cause my heart is made of stone. Aside from this, you're awful company, because you always leave. I know that you're no good for me, so why does it hurt when you leave me with all these memories? One day you're here and now you're gone. I'm wondering what I did wrong, having trouble moving on. Yeah. Tell me why you see me hurting, but don't help me heal my wounds. I think I gave my trust up way too soon. I felt to you. And now I sit, wondering why I dealt with all your shit. Why was I blind? Why couldn't I see it? You never cared about us. I know that you're no good for me, so why does it hurt when you leave me with all these memories? One day you're here and now you're gone. I'm wondering what I did wrong. I'm having trouble moving on. Now tell me, if you never cared, why did you stay in the morning? And tell me, if you didn't want me, why did you tell me I was yours? Yeah. I know that you're no good for me, so why does it hurt when you leave me with all these memories? One day you're here and now you're gone. I'm wondering what I did wrong. I'm having trouble moving on. Tell me why you see me starving but don't offer any bread. I'm counting all the memories in my head to help me get over this.
And now for the H2G podcast, Emily Lamport.
I run and I hide when you're around, but you got a funny way of always finding me out. You take me and you beat me and you throw me on the ground, but it's still I'm bound to you. You come when no one else is around, and you whisper in my ear, but only I can hear the sound. I've tried tapping, I've tried counting anything to block you out, but still I'm bound to you. I want you out of my head. I want you gone. I want you dead. And so I've tried, but what others see is that the burn is turned on me. 'Cause I am mine. Almost enemy. I'm a slave to every bad thought in my head. And you think if I had a key, I'd try to free myself, but instead I swallow it and I let your words fill me up with dread that keep me bound to you. I want you out of my head. I want you gone. I want you dead.
can't, I can't, I want you out of my head. I want you gone. Now I want you dead inside. What of the seas that the guns turned on me? 'Cause I am my own worst enemy. You always come when no one else is around, and you whisper in my ear, but only I can hear the sound. I tried drugs and I tried alcohol, anything to drown you out, but it's still I'm bound to you.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Awesome. That is what I'm talking about.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
That was like the entry to a James Bond movie. Like that's the vibe that I got. I played a movie in my head just listening to it. That was great. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And that song's called Bound, right?
Yes, it is called Bound.
We didn't get a chance to beforehand. Could you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to write such a powerful song?
There we go. This one's got a nice story behind it. Well, not nice, but the song Bound is actually spelled BOCND, and it's because I did that like as a sideways U, but it's about so I've struggled with obsessive compulsive disorder most of what I can remember of my life, and I wrote it kind of as about that, like you have this cyclical thought pattern, like I can't get rid of. I tried doing the compulsions, the tapping, the counting, and then like the treatments, like to numb it, the antidepressants, like the drugs associated with alcohol, like any of that. But it's like something that you can't get rid of. So I'm bound to it. I'm bound to OCD, and that's kind of just what it's about. It's the driving force behind it.
Wow. That is amazing. Well, thank you, Emily, so much for coming on the H2G podcast. I'm sure we could go back around 4 or 5 more times with questions. Such an amazing talent. Thank you again, Quarantine Karaoke, for making it possible to have to find these artists. Emily, here on the H2G podcast, we've got a little thing we call the last word, and it's kind of our parting advice for the week. So we would like to give that honor to you to close out our Tuesday.
I'm honored.
Absolutely. Take it away.
Okay, well, thank you guys for having me so much. It's been such an amazing experience being on a podcast. To everyone listening, it's Tuesday, but keep your head up. Better things are coming your way. If things are good, then keep it up. If you guys want to listen to more of me, my Instagram is @ETL_music, and you can find me anywhere on Spotify, Instagram. You can put me on your Instagram stories, TikTok. What's the other? Apple Music, iTunes. Just searching Emily Lamport, Lamport, on YouTube and such, under the same name. But yes, I would just thank you so much for giving me this time, space to express myself and perform, and yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. We appreciate it, folks. That does it for the H2G podcast. Tomorrow we've got our double header, so check us out at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then don't miss The Wire at 8 p.m. We'll see you then. Live, laugh, love like it's your last.
guy's funny. This guy's funny.
Well, I don't.